Every senior leader today faces the same existential question. If non-biological intelligence executes our cognitive labor at scale, what exactly is our strategic value? The instinct for most professionals is to treat AI simply as a high-speed engine bolted onto a legacy industrial workflow. They attempt to process more emails, generate more reports, and move faster. This dashboard illustrates a diagnostic failure, attempting to become an optimized output machine. Processing mechanical tasks at a machine's pace makes humans a severe bottleneck. Racing against an infinite, sleepless system guarantees obsolescence, and the legacy framework simply shatters under the pressure. As Peter Drucker observed decades ago, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is to act with yesterday's logic. Applying industrial-era productivity metrics to a landscape driven by artificial intelligence is precisely that error. True executive sovereignty requires abandoning the output race entirely. The only sustainable path is a strict, uncompromising focus on the capabilities that a machine cannot commoditize. This brings us to the state of the fully integrated human. This is a professional who uses AI not to do more total work, but to deliberately clear the mechanical ground for the work that only they can do. This matrix reveals the integration paradox. On the left, mechanical overhead. On the right, archetype-anchored human work, like strategy and judgment. Moving mechanical overhead to the AI column forces the professional to operate at a higher level of agency, concentrating their strategic weight. Marshall McLuhan understood this dynamic perfectly. We shape our tools, and thereafter, our tools shape us. Delegating undifferentiated tasks to a machine does not diminish your value. By stripping away the robotic tasks you were previously forced to perform, working fearlessly with AI makes you more human. To understand exactly what tasks to protect, we have to look at the strict limitations of current technology. AI is an extraordinary generative engine, but it lacks consciousness, it lacks true understanding, and it lacks agency. Elite computer scientists agree. As Jan LeCun points out, a system trained purely on language will never approximate actual human intelligence. This diagram outlines the 7 domains of the irreducibly human, the practical areas where the gap between human and machine contribution remains absolute. This is the modern executive moat. First is embodied wisdom, the knowledge inscribed in a nervous system through lived physical and emotional experience. Second is genuine moral agency. Machines can reason about ethics, but only humans make choices that carry the full weight of accountability. The third domain is the experience of meaning. Viktor Frankl identified the will to meaning as the primary human motivational force. AI optimizes for specified objectives. It does not know the quality of aliveness that comes from doing work that matters. Fourth is creative originality. AI recombines and extrapolates from existing data, but it cannot originate the genuinely new. Fifth is relational presence. True contact between human nervous systems yields a quality of interaction a machine cannot simulate. Researchers like Sherry Turkle have documented that passive technology consumption erodes the depth of this relational contact. It must be actively protected and managed. Sixth is contextual judgment under ambiguity. Leaders like Lisa Su navigate environments with no historical precedent, where variables cannot be fully specified. AI solves well-defined problems. Human executives map the unknown. Finally, the 7th domain, the capacity to be changed by experience. AI processes information. Human beings integrate every encounter into a complex web of judgment and perspective. Competing on mechanical tasks creates a path toward automation. Mastering these 7 domains shifts the professional's value to the specific areas where non-biological intelligence cannot perform. Knowing these 7 domains in theory is different from inhabiting them daily. Doing that requires a specific psychological architecture. Abraham Maslow placed self-actualization, the full expression of one's deepest capacities, at the summit of human potential. For most of history, reaching it was rare. This diagram illustrates how AI flips that historical hierarchy. When configured correctly, the machine acts as a buffer against economic precarity and a massive amplifier of professional reach at the lower levels. By removing the cognitive overhead, the technology alters the professional's daily constraints, shifting the focus to the highest leverage strategic work. In this target state, legacy building, relationally rich, archetype-anchored contribution is no longer a luxury reserved for the weekend. It becomes the primary activity of your professional day. But arriving at this summit is not automatic, and maintaining your position there requires a deliberate, structured protocol. Without rigorous, intentional architecture, the gravity of the modern workplace will simply pull you back down into the mechanical matrix. Philosophy must translate into daily operations. This is how the fully integrated human actually structures their time. The operational cadence begins with a specific 10-minute discipline, the weekly AI-assisted planning session. Look at this calendar structure. The objective is to define the highest leverage work that absolutely requires your human presence, map those blocks in bronze, and ruthlessly delegate the surrounding context. The executive configures their AI assistant to handle all logistical preparation before a meeting and all documentation afterward. This completely insulates the protected human time from administrative friction. At the end of the week, a brief reflection protocol is required. You must audit the AI's output to ensure it accurately reflects your synthesized identity, not a generic algorithm. Zooming out, the macro protocol is the annual integration review. As you evolve and the technology advances, your workflows will misalign. This structured review prevents your identity and your AI stack from calcifying. The output of this review is your living manifesto. It is a single master document that captures your specific archetype, your relational commitments, and your long-term legacy intentions. These are not passive HR documents to be written once and filed away. They are your active navigational compass for dealing with continuous disruption. Successful integration is the ongoing synthesis of human identity and machine leverage. The reality of the landscape we are entering is structural volatility. The technology will continue to accelerate and the market will continue to shift. Because of this, we have to discard the idea that full integration is a permanent destination where you arrive and stop working. It is a dynamic equilibrium. This chart maps the core maintenance protocol that sustains equilibrium, the return practice. It consists of 3 stages: drift, notice, and return. Drifting from your synthesized center is inevitable. True executive discipline is measured by the speed of your return to center. As Marcus Aurelius noted, true power lies over your own mind, not outside events. This psychological resilience is the ultimate sovereign control amidst external chaos. This resilience allows for anti-fragility. When a professional's core value is immune to automation, they gain a strategic advantage from the very volatility that disrupts undifferentiated roles. Mastering the return practice is the specific mechanism that grants the modern executive this strategic anti-fragility. Alvin Toffler famously stated that the illiterate of the 21st century will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Today, that applies directly to professionals who refuse to adapt their core operating systems. In this era, professional intelligence is not defined by raw computational power or historical knowledge. It is defined by the willingness to continuously evolve. Look at the long horizon. For the first time in history, a technology exists that can automate economic necessity at scale. This provides a distinct historical opportunity for leaders to spend their working lives functioning entirely as whole, self-actualized humans. The integration of artificial intelligence does not diminish what it means to be a human executive. It raises the stakes of it entirely. The integration architecture is fully built. The tools are ready. The evolution begins exactly where you are standing right now.